This is our catch cage.
Catch cage.
This is a trick that I learned when I was working as a zookeeper.
Okay.
Because oftentimes you're working with exotic animals that are not safe to deal with, so you build catch cages so that you can take care of them without having to interact with them too much. What I discovered with my bucks is when breeding bucks are in rut, just like with deer where they can get kind of dangerous in the wild, breeding bucks also lose their minds when they're in rut.
So trying to feed them, they're trying to kick you and,
No,
headbutt you.
They're never aggressive towards me.
Okay.
These guys are very, very well-behaved goats. They are never aggressive towards me, but they do get aggressive towards each other sometimes.
Okay.
And if I'm in the way, I can get seriously hurt.
So when you're trying to feed them, you're just making a separation between yourself and them,
Yes.
so that when they go to each other, you're like, okay, guys,
Yep,
I'm out of the cage.
This way, I don't have to be in between them at any time that I don't want to be.
Oh,
I still
perfect.
do go in there. When they're not in rut, I go in there and I spend time with them. They're lovely goats. But when they're in rut, they really do kind of lose their minds, and they just don't think about the fact that my kneecaps are right where they're trying to ram their brother. So yeah, I use this to separate them in. So we have a catch cage. I bring them into this. They stay in the catch cage and eat a treat. I go around and into their enclosure.
Do what you need to do.
I give them their fresh hay, I give them their fresh water, I do any cleanup that needs to happen, and then I come back and I let them out. And that way I'm not in the middle of any discussions.
While you're doing all your regular maintenance inside of there.
Yep.
How has the catch cage made a difference with your disabilities?
It's helped in a couple of ways. One is just anxiety. I was getting very anxious about going into the pen with them because I never knew when they were going to misbehave with each other and potentially hurt me. It has also made it so that I have muscle spasms oftentimes in my neck and shoulders, and sometimes my back. And so trying to negotiate carrying in hay or water and negotiate working
where the
around
goats, tripping over goats,
where goats are,
running goats.
It puts a lot of strain on there, and it would occasionally lead to muscle spasms. So this way, I have none of that to worry about. I'm just able to, and they're happy because they're eating treats. So it's not like I even have to worry about them being unhappy. They're happy to go in there every time. In fact, sometimes we have to wait a little while for them to leave.
We're not done with their treats. We're not coming out.
Even though we're done with what we need to do. So it really has made a huge difference just in making chores go smoother.
Yep.
I don't have to worry, and that's a huge thing. And I don't
great.
get hurt, which is
Can you show us how the catch cage works?
I certainly can. Let me go and get some grain. So to use the catch cage, I open up the door and let myself in. Pour some grain into each. Then I let the boys in, and to do that I have guillotine doors.
Oh, and that separates them from each other as well.
It keeps them from arguing because we have a wall there, and it allows them to come in. And they actually chose their sides without me doing anything. Which I thought was really interesting. They very rarely go into the other goat's side. So they eat their grain. I come back out of the catch cage. Close the door behind me. Then I can go and do chores as I want to. Then when I'm done, I come back and I just need to open these two doors. I brought the strings all the way out here so I don't have to go back in.
Yep.
I just pull these strings, let them back in.
Oh, cool.
And they go about their day, and so do I.
So did you get this catch cage at Agway, or is this a creation of your own imagination?
So this catch cage was much needed at a time that I did not have much money to spend, but I did have a lot of scrap lumber around.
Nice.
So we had already had this door for an aviary when I had my chickens and turkeys. We used this door to the aviary, and these panels were actually part of the aviary walls.
Oh, okay.
So I used two of the aviary panels.
Yep.
I used the door that we had. The wood up here is actually two shelves.
Okay.
That we didn't need anymore. And then when I bought this property, I found these pieces of corrugated metal on the ground. And
cool.
Plants had grown through them and stuff. So I pulled them up, cleaned them off, and then used those to make, because the roof isn't completely necessary if the weather's nice, but I know that if it's raining, the bucks won't go in there.
They're more inclined to go in there when for the dry spot.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's not. They don't need the cage over top.
You don't really need the roof as long as the weather's good.
Check.
I just use it because I wanted to have them not have an excuse to decide that they weren't going to participate on rainy days. So this way, they come in even on rainy days. They're fine. And then what I did do also, because during the summertime, the girls oftentimes have access to around here. I put some cattle panel on the outside of where where the boys will be, so that the girls can't just go right through.
Yep.
And that's why I also put one here, so because the goats could potentially walk right through there if I didn't do that. So this is all scrap lumber. I didn't spend a dime on this because it was already here.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Which is how I work. Nothing on this property gets thrown away until it's completely useless.
That's fantastic.
I do have, in my catch cage, I have a divider wall so that each boy has their own little stall. And the reason for that is I made my first one I made very similar to this without the divider wall, and I would just let both boys in, and that worked for about 2 mornings. And then one morning they decided that that was not acceptable and that they were going to argue about things. So they got into quite a discussion, and they weren't trying to get out, they were trying to ram each other, but one of them rammed right through the bottom of my door, and the bottom of my door ended up in pieces and splinters and totally wrecked the whole door. So I had to take it all apart.
So we had to segregate them.
I had to take the whole door down. I had to put up a whole different door, and then I put up that wall, and that wall has made all the difference. With that, I don't have to worry about a thing.
Awesome.
That we took down. There's still a pile of stuff over there from the barn that we took. Oh my gosh, from the barn that we took down. And I'll continue to pull from things until literally they're too rotten to use or too broken up to use, whatever.
Nice.
job of them.
How much soap do you make?
I think I made about 5,000 bars last year.
Yeah, really?
Maybe more. This year I'm probably going to end up making more.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Goat milk, lye, and whatever fragrance
Oils.
you're using, oils, whatever fragrance oils.
I use essential oils for scent, but you need oils, like I use like coconut oil and palm oil and stuff like that.
For like moisturizing and stuff.
No,
like,
because
in
order for the chemical process to work, you need oils and lye and a liquid.
Oh,
whether
okay.
it's water or milk or whatever, but it won't make soap if you don't have that stuff. So what happens is the lye chemical changes the oils and turns the oils into soap.
Okay. Lye with oils, and then the milk is just the goat's milk is for like the creamy, like skin health effect.
Yeah, so you need a liquid of some sort in order to get the lye to dissolve and be willing to interact with the oil.
And that's where the milk comes in.
And yeah, so I use milk in place of water, and that it gives it more moisturizing effect. More, it's richer, creamier.
Oh, cool.
It's got a lot of nutrients and vitamins that you then put on your skin instead of water that has nothing that's added.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it's kind of nice. Cat, why? I thought you liked me. I have big plans for this year for expanding.
Bigger herd or
no,
extending the soap production?
My wholesale accounts. I want to at least double my wholesale accounts.
Oh,
this
cool.
year,
Cool.
preferably triple.
You like wholesale in the like grocery stores and pharmacy kind of places around here? Or?
It's mostly like boutiques and
okay. Definitely. Yep.
Am I stressing him out?
Huh?
Or is he just done?
No, he's ready. He's done. You want to film him getting back in?
Yeah.
Tell me when you're ready.
Ready? Got it.